Good morning, viewers. Hello and welcome to the Morning News Show, where we bring you the latest headlines and insightful stories to kickstart your day. I'm Kohina Sharma and you're watching CNN News 18. Let's begin. First up, we're discussing the special parliament session. Now, the 5-day special parliament session begins today, and the agenda will revolve around the discussion of India's journey of 75 years as a democracy. Now, interestingly, the new Parliament House will become operational on the auspicious day of Ganesh Chaturthi, that is tomorrow, which has been opposed tooth and nail by the opposition parties and the leaders. Now, in the new Parliament building, special places have been set for all the MPs, and these MPs will be given laptops and iPads. Now, it will be a paperless scenario in the new Parliament. But the opposition has accused the government of hiding the real agenda of the session. Now, speculations are rife about the implementation of the Women's Reservation Bill, along with the changes in percentage in the OBC quota. Meanwhile, the India bloc will chair a key meeting at the Leader of Opposition's office at 10 a.m., whereas PM Modi is likely to interact with the media at 10:15 a.m.
हमने ऑल पार्टी फ्लोर लीडर्स का मीटिंग बुलाया था सरकार के तरफ से, और आप सब जानते हो कल से 5 दिन के लिए सेशन शुरू होने वाला है. 13th session of 17th Lok Sabha and 261st session of Rajya Sabha कल से शुरू हो रहा है. इसमें 5 sittings है.
Face-off between you and YSR Congress in the all-party meeting. What really transpired?
Oh yes, we tried to raise the issue of Chandrababu Naidu in the all-party meeting, how he was illegally arrested, how there was no evidence against him, false cases were put against him, and he's tried to, without following any due procedure of law, he was illegally put in remand. So when we tried to raise it in the all-party meeting, the YCP people didn't have the courage to listen to the truth. They don't have courage to listen to it in the state. They don't have courage to listen to it in the parliament also. So they showed it out. They were trying to shout it out. But we got support from everyone there, especially the chair also, Praladji. Everyone let me speak what I wanted to speak. So I'm thankful to that. And I've definitely put it forward that the central government has to look into this issue. This is a democracy which is being murdered here in Andhra Pradesh. So this is not just an issue of a state or not just one leader. This can happen in any other state, any other part of the country. So definitely central government should take cognizance of this act, where the state government and Jagan Mohan Reddy is misusing the power that they have right now and using CID, an institution run by the state government, to put false cases against opposition leaders.
The opposition parties are saying you're not able to give them any clarity on what the agenda is, and why have you called for a special session?
No, the government has already very clearly mentioned and briefed in the all-party meeting. There is no such confusion.
They're only worried that you'll come up with something surprising, like you did in Article 370 that time.
See, that is why I said that the government has briefed them on all the agenda items that is there in the government's list of business.
And we are going to move to the new parliament on the 19th. And what is going to be, there's going to be legislative business only after that?
Yes, of course. The minister has already explained that 20th onwards there will be regular government business.
सरकार आपको बताया कि विशेष सत्र क्यों बुलाया?
उन्होंने कहा 8 विषयों के ऊपर चर्चा होगी. वो 8 विषय क्या है? जमीन है, आसमान है, पर्यावरण है, जलवायु है, क्या है? कुछ नहीं बताया उन्होंने. सबने पूछा, लेकिन उन्होंने कहा नहीं, 8 विषयों के ऊपर चर्चा होगी. वो 8 विषय क्या है ये आपको बाद में बता दिए जाएंगे. एक स्वर में सबने कहा कि भाई चुनाव आयोग की चयन प्रक्रिया में किसी भी प्रकार का बदलाव करने की कोशिश मत कीजिए. महिला आरक्षण का बिल लेकर आइए. जाति जनगणना के सवाल पे सदन के अंदर चर्चा हो. मणिपुर, मेवात, अडानी का मामला, सीएजी की रिपोर्ट, ये सारे विषय सदन के अंदर चर्चा किए जाए और इससे संबंधित बिल पास किया जाए. जहां तक आम आदमी पार्टी का सवाल है, हमने पंजाब में जो रूरल डेवलपमेंट फंड 4000 करोड़ रुपए नहीं दिया जा रहा है, उसका भी विषय उठाया. और पंजाब बॉर्डर स्टेट होने के नाते उसको स्पेशल पैकेज मिलना चाहिए, ये मुद्दा भी उठाया.
Seen in 2019 during this the abrogation, is there something that the opposition is fearful?
Well, I think it is very much speculative. You know, everybody talks about, you know, some last minute things happening and some, you know, surprises being sprung up. It's a session of Parliament which is there to debate and legislate. And I think we should, you know, look at it very positively and constructively. From our side, my party side, we have put in a suggestion that after 75 years of independence, and especially when we are moving into a new parliament building, on the auspicious occasion, we should all now legislate and pass the women's reservation bill. It's been talked about again and again. All political parties outside parliament support this reservation bill. Then why not actually take the leap and make that bold decision and pass it unanimously in this coming session?
Praful bhai, you've been a part of the government in the past. You know how government things function. Isn't the opposition right in understanding why this has been called? Because you don't call a special session of parliament just out of thin air.
No, I think government is in its right, and especially when we are moving to a new parliament building, that could be a special occasion on its own.
प्रोफेसर साहब, बहुत सारी मांगे की है विपक्ष वालों ने, पर क्या आप लोगों को आखिर में कोई क्लैरिटी मिली कि सरकार ने विशेष सत्र क्यों बुलाया?
ये सरकार कभी क्लियर बात करती? ये तो लोगों को धोखे में रखने वाली सरकार है, और धोखा देके जो कर लेंगे सो कर देंगे। कुछ नहीं।
आप लोगों ने क्या मांग की विशेष करके, क्योंकि महिला आरक्षण की
पर्सनली ये मांग थी कि जाति जनगणना होना चाहिए, आरक्षण इस देश में जितनी जिसकी जातिवाद कर देना चाहिए, जितनी जिसका परसेंटेज उतना आरक्षण खत्म, झंझट हमेशा के लिए। और महिला आरक्षण का जहां तक सवाल है, तो हमने कहा कि हमारी पिछड़े वर्ग की महिलाएं, दलित महिलाएं, अपर कास्ट की पढ़ी लिखी और जो महिलाएं उनका मुकाबला नहीं कर सकती। आरक्षण दिए इसलिए जाता है कि विशेष अवसर का सिद्धांत जो है, ये जो गैर बराबरी है उसको ठीक करने के लिए दिया जाता है। तो उस आरक्षण के अंदर जितना आबादी है पिछड़े वर्ग की महिलाओं की, उसके हिसाब से आरक्षण दिया जाना चाहिए।
What are the demands that the DMK really made? Because you've also been one of the parties demanding for 33% reservation for women through.
Yes, DMK did ask for women's reservation bill to be passed in this. I don't know whether it's a special session or a normal session. Nobody knows about that. But during this session, I think not just the DMK, most of the parties have asked for the women's reservation bill to be passed, and of course, DMK also, raised the issues about discussing the Manipur issue, unemployment, price rise, the promises which the BJP has made, and then river disputes. So many other things we've raised.
Was there any clarity or any sense that you were able to make from the government as to why this session was called? Because everybody is asking why this special session.
Not at all. The government has repeatedly said that it is being called for a photo session and 3 days of parliamentary work, and the list of businesses they've given. But it's a little difficult to believe that.
All the opposition parties are raising the issue of women reservation bill. Is that something that your party is also supporting?
In fact, it was not something that was raised only by the opposition. In all parties, across party lines, there was a consensus and everybody has supported this issue. So, I mean, this is a really wonderful thing that if it is brought in the parliament, there's a big possibility that it would be passed because everybody across party lines is supporting it.
Did the government give any indication that they may consider your demand?
No, there was no sort of, agreement or, there was no indication.
आपने किस चीज की मांग की? बिकॉज बहुत सारी पार्टीज करी वो भी।
देखिए, सब पार्टियों की एक डिमांड थी कि विशेष सत्र कैसे है, ये किस लिए बुलाया बताओ। जो विशेष सत्र का एजेंडा वो तो इसके अंदर नहीं है। इसमें तो 2-3 एजेंडे के अंदर हमें जो दिया है, एक रिफिल करने का है, कोई नया बिल नहीं है। लेकिन इन्होंने जो 18-19 का कार्यक्रम बताया, 18 को जैसे कल संविधान को लेके सारा चलेगा, भाई पार्लियामेंट 75 साल में हमने क्या किया क्या नहीं किया, और 19 को हम सबकी फोटो सेशन होगा, बाद के अंदर सेंट्रल हॉल के अंदर होकर नए पार्लियामेंट भवन के अंदर जाएंगे। लेकिन 20, 21, 22 को आप क्या करने जा रहे हो, उस पर कोई चर्चा इन्होंने की। इसका सब लोगों ने कहा कि आपको बताना चाहिए कि आप क्या आखिर लेके आ रहे हो, और करोड़ों अरबों रुपए खर्च करके आप ये हाउस बुला रहे हो। तो न तो आपने 0 रखा, न 377, न पर्सन काल है, तो आप इसका बुलाना खुद ही कर लेते, फिर ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग बुलाने की क्या आवश्यकता थी। हमने हमारा विरोध जताया, साथ ही साथ राजस्थान के अंदर चुनाव है और ईआरसीपी को लेकर राजस्थान की राजनीति गरमाई। 13 जिले जो है जहां एमपी 13 बीजेपी के और राजस्थान ने 25 सांसद एनडीए में इनको दिए और हमने ये मांग रखी कि आपके जल शक्ति मंत्री राजस्थान चाहते हैं, लेकिन वो बार बार ये कहते हैं कि राज्य सरकार पैसे। राज्य सरकार किसी को राष्ट्रीय परियोजना घोषित नहीं करती, राष्ट्रीय परियोजना दिल्ली वाले घोषित करते हैं। तो मैंने इनको कहा कि प्रधानमंत्री क्या कहते हैं, आपको इसमें भी करना चाहिए, अग्निपथ वापस लेना चाहिए, जो हमारा मुद्दा है 50%। आप हम चाहते हैं पूर्व की भांति सेना भर्ती रह लिया, महिला आरक्षण बिल आपको लाना चाहिए।
Mr. Mishra, what is the issues that your party has raised?
I think our party is very happy that the new Parliament building is being inaugurated, and we are going to hold a 3-day session there in the new Parliament building. But we have very, very vigorously asked for the women's reservation bill. That has been Naveen Patnaik's, demand from day one. So we want the women's reservation bill. Definitely in this new Parliament, there must be space for women, because in 60 odd members there were only 4 lady members, and that's a matter of great shame.
Well, CNN News 18's Ayushman Jhamwal spoke to a panel of guests on the special parliament session. Let's listen in.
I'm joined by Shazia Ilmi of the BJP, Arshpreet Khadial of the Congress Party, and Professor Geeta Bhatt, political analyst, joining us on the broadcast right ahead of the special session of Parliament. And what we are learning from top government sources is that when it comes to 75 years of India's democratic journey through parliamentary democracy, Prime Minister Modi will be the first speaker in the Lok Sabha. Arshpreet, I'll start with you. What is the point of contention at the end of the day? The government is saying that when it comes to the centre, and several opposition parties who have been in power in the past are aware of procedures by which the list of business is announced. No agenda can be declared in advance as per parliamentary procedure. So what is the point of contention?
Thank you. Kindly allow me 2 minutes uninterrupted. Number one, whether it be the old parliament building or the new parliament building, I doubt that the Bharatiya Janata Party would mend its ways. The Bharatiya Janata Party is accustomed to having no debate and discussion, is accustomed to making sure that the people-centric issues take a backseat. The issues that concern with the Bharatiya Janata Party or are in interest for the Bharatiya Janata Party take priority. They would still make sure that the mic of the opposition members is muted, that the MPs, if they raise relevant questions, relevant issues, they are suspended. The Bharatiya Janata Party would still try and make sure that they turn our democracy into autocracy. They would not ask, they would impose. And my request to the Bharatiya Janata Party is, for once, you could have consulted with other political parties before you convened a special session as to what the agenda should have been, because we happen to be living in the world's largest democracy. Shouldn't the Bharatiya Janata Party have at least consulted, have had an all-party meeting? And number three, the Bharatiya Janata Party, despite us time and again asking, what is going to be the agenda? Give us specific details of it, because a lot of money, crores are going to be spent upon these in these days to come of the Parliament special session. So why should they not be utilized? Because if the opposition would know about it, only then can we prepare, then can we offer something, then can we contribute something. But the Bharatiya Janata Party is clearly not affected to do that. And I'll tell them one thing: no matter what you do and no matter what you say, the issues of the public will be raised in the special coming session. We'll raise the issue of caste census. We'll make sure it's brought up. We'll raise the issue of inflation. We'll make sure it's brought up. We'll raise the issue of Manipur. We'll raise the issue of communal clashes. We'll raise the issue of the conflict and rift between states and centre, and all the other issues that are concerned with the public of India, because the Bharatiya Janata Party can...
Is this some sort of a speech?
One second,
is
please.
This some of a? I just want to know: is this a debate or a?
Miss Ilmi, you will get equal amount of time to respond to
the Parliament. You can see. This is what the BJP does in Parliament. Also, they would.
But Ashpreet, I request you to complete your point.
Thank you. So all I'm saying is, this is an example of the Bharatiya Janata Party's model of governance. Ayushman, this is what they do. This is their expertise, to interrupt,
Right.
to suppress the voice of the opposition, to not let the voice of the people come out. That's
Right.
what the Bharatiya Janata Party does best.
I think your voice is kind of like echoing through this entire debate. You can't say that you're not being given
Thanks
any
to
time.
you,
But let's
In fact,
but when you talk about, I think you sounded off Sonia Gandhi's 9-point agenda. When you talk about rise in communal tensions, I hope you are ready to debate the entire Sanatan firestorm that was caused by your own ally. Shazia Almi, please respond.
So, thank you. I would like to say thanks to the anchor, Mr. Jambal, and unlike other petulant voices in the Congress Party and INDI alliance, I would not blame you or threaten to boycott you, though you gave a lot of time to the spokesperson from Congress. But I will not be a sore loser, and I will not complain and go crying and say no. From next time, I will not appear on a show with Mr. Jambal because he didn't give me time. No, I will not do that. Because I know you have to
not do what you did with people.
Arshpreet, come on. Arshpreet, at the end of the day, Shazia Almi did not interrupt you. She let you speak for a long time. Come on, she just started speaking and you have already started. Please let her make her point.
Yeah. So I heard, I think everybody, including me, we heard what Arshdeep has to say about. So first of all, he says, why is there a special session? Then he says the agenda is not shared. Then he says, though it's a special session, but we will not be allowed to speak. And now, though we will not be allowed to speak, yet we will speak. So I just heard a lot of confusion. So I don't think there's any point. And aren't you glad that the special is happening? You yourself are saying that you will raise all these issues. Parliament is the best place. It is a temple of democracy. You should raise these issues. You should applaud the effort of the government to have a special session where you can voice your concerns. What is an issue?
Well, this breaking input is pertinent to the Parliament's special session only. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely going to be the first and the opening speaker on the discussion of the 75 years of Indian Parliament's democracy in Lok Sabha. Now, Piyush Goyal will be the first speaker of Rajya Sabha as he is the leader of the House. Now, I'll repeat it for my viewers. PM Modi is likely going to be the first and the opening speaker of the discussion on 75 years of Indian Parliament's democracy in Lok Sabha. Now, joining me on the broadcast is my colleague Payal. A very good morning, Payal. What more details do we have on PM Modi's and Mr. Goyal's speech, and what are we actually expecting from these opening speeches?
Well, today is going to be the first day of the special session of Parliament that the government is really called, and we're talking about 75 years of India's glorious parliament democracy as well. So obviously that is something which the government is probably one of the reasons that they've called this particular session. So since the Prime Minister is the leader of the House in the Lok Sabha and Piyush Goyal is the leader of the House in the Rajya Sabha, both of these leaders will be initiating discussions on this issue, which is already highlighted in the list of business that the government has circulated a few days ago. We are given to understand by way of top sources. So obviously both of these leaders will share their experiences in terms of how their experience has been about the Indian parliamentary democracy, one of the most robust democracies across the world, and what is the way forward? Because the Prime Minister has often spoken about the fact that Amrit Kal is what we need to look at, and we need to look at when India turns 100 years old of independence in 2047. So it's very interesting to see what he says on the occasion and how the opposition in particular reacts. So the opposition has been very, very clear that the government has not given them the agenda for which the special session has been called, and the opposition wants answers from the Prime Minister on multiple issues, including what's happening in Manipur, why is there so much of inflation, etc.
All right, Payal, I'll request you to stay with us on the broadcast because we have another piece of breaking input. Now, this time it is Centre versus DMK again over Hindi imposition. Now, sources say that DMK Rajya Sabha MP Tiruchi Siva tore a few papers in the all-party meeting yesterday as he was angry over the Hindi imposition. Now, he's raised an objection to the flag hoisting ceremony that was held yesterday in the morning where the itinerary was only printed in Hindi. So, he tore the hoisting program papers in the evening during the all-party meeting to make or convey a message. Now, however, the sources added that Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who presided over the meeting, assured DMK Rajya Sabha MP Tiruchi Siva that henceforth English versions will also be circulated. Now joining me on the broadcast is Payal. Payal, what more details do we have on this, and how has the MP's actions been perceived by most of the other MPs in the room?
Well, as far as the DMK is concerned, their line of thinking is very simple and it's very clear. They clearly have said that no Hindi imposition will work with them. In the past, also we've seen their leader Narendra Modi also have a war of words with the chair and say that, I do not understand Hindi and do not communicate with me in Hindi. Hindi opposition is a completely no-go zone, is something which they have said, whether it is the national education policy or any other issue as well. But yesterday, in the morning, Rajya Sabha was present for the flag hoisting ceremony that took place in the new Parliament complex. And since the itinerary was entirely in Hindi, he obviously registered his protest by tearing a few papers while he was sitting in the all-party meeting. At least 3 MPs independently have confirmed this to Network 18 because, some of them were sitting close to him and they were really intrigued as to why he was doing this. But, of course, Rajnath Singh being, a senior politician assured the Rajya Sabha that this will not be repeated and that, at any further programs, will ensure that there are English copies also really available. So obviously he making a point over there as we look at the DMK versus the centre and the BJP on the Sanatan Dharam. This is another issue that they've really raked up in a big way.
All right, thank you so much, Payal, for all those details. Well, Parliament's special centre keeps cards close to the chest and opposition alleges that there is a hidden agenda around all of this. Well, this is a developing story and we'll keep coming back with more details. But right now, it's time to slip into a very short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Ritika!
Hello and welcome back. You're watching the morning news show on CNN News 18. Well, we have a breaking input right away. Now, after Shantiniketan, the famous place in West Bengal where poet Rabindranath Tagore built the Vishwa Bharati University over a century ago, was inscribed in UNESCO's World Heritage List. Now, PM Modi took to the microblogging site X and tweeted that he is delighted to know that Shantiniketan, the embodiment of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore's dream and India's rich cultural heritage, has now been inscribed by UNESCO on the World Heritage List. This is a proud moment for all the Indians. Well, now, India has clinched the Asia Cup 2023 title yesterday. It was a dominant display from the men in blue as they won their 8th Asia Cup title with a 10-wicket win over Sri Lanka. Now, Sri Lanka was bowled out for just 50 runs after Mohammad Siraj's 6-wicket haul, and in reply, Ishan Kishan and Shubham Gill sealed the deal of 51 runs, in less than 10 overs. Now, India won the title against Sri Lanka with 263 balls to spare. Now, this is India's biggest win in an ODI as far as balls remaining is concerned. Now, this update is also from the sports world, where Indian cricket team has returned to Mumbai after winning the Asia Cup. Yeah, as we guys remember, India clinched the Asia Cup 2023 title yesterday, and it was a dominant display from the men in blue. Now, the Indian cricket team is back and has landed in Mumbai and is back after winning the Asia Cup for the 10th time in history. Now, well, it was once again a proud moment for India after winning the Asia Cup. And it's a wrap from my side. Stay tuned to CNN News 18 for more news and updates. Thanks for watching.